I would like to know, how is the lifeline of the transmission? Because we understand that previously when Umeme left, there have been a challenge of vandalism of some of the power lines. So how are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, thank you very much. It's true, we face a challenge of vandalism, both on our side and on the distribution side. But then we have done a lot to try and combat vandalism. One, we are working with security agencies, CMI, ISO, police, CID, and also the communities to try and really help us with this vice.
Maybe that campaign is distracting you.
With the vice. And so far, we see some results. We are not where we want to be, but I think we have a lot of hope and belief that with continued cooperation with these agencies and the community, we shall see a positive impact. Two, we have also worked, of course, with the judiciary, and they have set up a special court where culprits are reprimanded and penalties are stiff. It's no longer a case of, these are just petty thieves, jail them 1 month, 2, and release them. The penalties are really stiff. We also work with really scrap dealers, and we have really tried to sensitize both the community and scrap dealers, saying this vice is illegal, and if we get involved, these are the consequences. Then we have what we call trouble spots on the grid. If you notice, there is a pattern. Of course, they will go to isolated areas, and these areas, you find there are sugarcane plantations and forests, isolated areas. One, UPDF is helping us patrol the Kachira area as an example. But as a long term, we are trying to change the structures we use, the steel structures we use. We call them monopoles rather than the lattice type. These monopoles, which are a single stem, are almost impossible to vandalize. At least you cannot vandalize it using just a simple ordinary tool. Whereas these ones we have, even somebody with a simple hacksaw can cut off a piece. So these are so far the efforts we put in place. As I said, it's still a long way, and we intend also to see how we can maybe leverage on technology. At least if we can use technology for quick detection, and then through the communities and intelligence agencies, we see how to rapidly respond to matters or cases of intrusion, wherever they may be.
How much are you losing? Put a cost to this.
For example, to use one example, Mukono area, when that line came down, on our side as UETCL, we lost, I think, close to 4 billion shillings. But remember, this is not the only loss. For example, the waterworks in Katosi couldn't pump. The businesses around that area, as you know, there are quite a number of industries. They were not working. So really, the cost is more than the 4 billion, I can confirm. That loss, I may not easily quantify it, but I'm sure it's also substantial.
In a year, how much annually does UETCL, how much loss do you make?
I would put probably the figure to between, on average.
On average?
I would put it between maybe 200 to 300 million. The Mukono case was extreme.
300 million shillings?
Yes.
Or million dollars?
No shillings, Uganda shillings. The Mukono case was extreme because we had no alternative. In most cases, you may find that, yes, vandalism happens, the tower could come down, but you find you have an alternative.
This time around, ever since Umeme left, do you really think the cases of vandalism have gone up or not?
No, I think it is the same. I wouldn't say they have gone up, I wouldn't say they have come down. it is the same, only that you people on the outside, maybe when the tower doesn't come down, you may get a feeling that probably the cases have gone down. But vandalism goes on all the time, only that in most cases, we manage to salvage the situation before it gets worse.
And then how many cases have you so far handled? And what's the maximum for the vandals?
Well, I don't have those facts,
Okay.
but I can get you the figures later. I think our security section has those details.
And then how is the lifeline of the grid?
I wouldn't say it's that bad. I think it is fairly secure. And as far as I'm concerned, looking ahead, the projects in the pipeline, those under implementation, we are doing fairly well with a view to cope with the demand, which upcoming industrial parks, upcoming interconnection. There
is a narrative that we produce, Uganda generates more than it consumes, more than 2,000 megawatts. The demand here is about 1,000 megawatts. Where does the surplus go?
No, the demand actually, when I say peak system demand, including exports, is about 1,350 megawatts. And yes, installed capacity, it's true, it's over 2,000. But what we call the firm capacity is about 1,500, 1,600. So you can see the margin is smaller than probably most people think. However, these projects, which are either under implementation or upcoming, are designed to see how we can leverage on the regional interconnection near and far. For example, when we finish the Tanzanian interconnection, it doesn't mean that really we are looking at either exporting or buying power from Tanzania. Tanzania is also connected to other countries in the Southern Pool.